E-Butter go crazy. E-Butter go crazy.
YouTube, what's good, guys? It's your boy T, and I'm back again with another live, guys. And today's live is going to be on my top 3 breakout wide receivers going into your 2023 fantasy football season, guys. And listen, if you don't do fantasy football, I would recommend you to come over here and follow me, sign up for my OnlyFans. I can help you out. And also, guys, if you just love hearing about players, breaking it down, that's what I do. So, guys, with no further ado, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. Let me see. I got some guys in here that's been in here early, and I appreciate it, guys. I got Racky 2000 up here. What's up, bruh? And I got, let me see, Commissioner Breeze. Yes, one of the best commissioners. If you want to get in the league, I recommend you get up with Commissioner Breeze, guys. That's how I started getting the leagues. This guy's awesome. He's a great commissioner. So, guys, let's start. All right. The first wide receiver, guys, that I think you should be targeting this year, and I'm listening. I'm not giving an ADP out because ADP change all the way out through the season. Guys get hurt, quarterbacks change, and all that. But the first guy that I want to talk about is Drake London. Yes, guys, Drake London from the Atlanta Falcons. Now, listen. Last year, guys, Drake London, I believe he had a pretty good season for a rookie. Now, what held him back was Marcus Mariota. Marcus Mariota is a good quarterback within his own, but he's not a guy that I would target a wide receiver only. Like if Marcus Mariota is the quarterback, I'm not targeting that wide receiver in a vacuum. But in Dynasty, I know Marcus Mariota is not going to be the quarterback there for like 10 years. So in Dynasty, yes, I'm still going after Drake London. But this year in a redraft league, it was terrible with Marcus Mariota. So let me break some things about Marcus Mariota down. The reason why I believe he held Drake London back. Marcus Mariota doesn't have any anticipation when it comes to throwing in the holes and throwing into zone. So he ran the ball a lot. Now, they won games that way because they were a young team, but it wasn't good for the wide receivers. That's why Kyle Pitts struggled. A lot of people think Kyle Pitts suck. I'm buying Kyle Pitts everywhere I see him. I don't care. 2 first-round picks and a tight end premium. Now, if it's not tight end premium, I might give up a first-round pick for him. But in tight end premium, I'm going after Kyle Pitts. And guys, you want to find out what tight end premium? Sign up for my OnlyFans. I'll explain all of that over there. But yes, guys, he had no anticipation. So it's basically guys had to be running wide open for him to give them targets. Next, guys, is he has a lackluster arm. And so Drake London couldn't really run a lot of deep balls and expect Marcus Mariota to get him the ball. So that limits a wide receiver or a tight end. So it limited Drake London playing with Marcus Mariota. He doesn't have a strong arm, right? Like I said, he's a guy. He's very, very mobile. He's fast, but that's it. And he can play within a certain type of offense, like, just kind of like the Atlanta Falcons did, right? They not really an open it up, throw it deep type of offense. So that limited Drake London. And last but not least about Marcus Mariota is, guys, his pocket presence is pretty bad. It's either like 1, 2, he taking off. And this is his 4th, 5th year. Well, it ain't 4th, 5th. I would say his 7th, 8th year in the league. And you need to be better than that, bro. So this video is not about Marcus Mariota, but I wanted to explain to you why Drake London struggled. It wasn't all of Drake London, even though he was a rookie wide receiver. Okay, let's move on. Guys, Drake London, to take his game to the next level, and this is what he's going to be working on in the offseason, so I want y'all to be able to go get him, go draft him in Dynasty and also redraft, is his route depth. So in NFL, you kind of have to read your corner and stuff. You can't just run. They're not going to give you a route and you just do that route every single time. It's not high school. It's not college. So if the guy comes out and he's pressing you, you might have one route depth of the route that you're going to run. But then if he backs up before the center hikes the ball, you got to run a different route. So he's got to learn that. So he didn't help himself out with Marcus Mariota because he was a young wide receiver and he didn't learn that probably to the end of the year, and he got better at that at the end of the year. So this year, that's going to be easy for him. So he's going to be learning that. So you're going to see him getting those high target games like he can do. Next is, and I explained this already a little bit with the route depth, is secondary route. So if Marcus Mariota get outside the pocket, you got to run the right routes to get yourself open. You just can't keep running the same route and the quarterback's on the other side of the field. You got to be able to pick that up and be able to go to your secondary route in order to get open. And teams like with Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, they run that a lot. It's kind of like fast break in basketball. You get the rebound, you got to go get somewhere where the point guard or whoever got that rebound can get you the ball and spread the floor. Same thing with football. When somebody gets outside the pocket, you can't be running in the same space with another wide receiver because there's too many defenders going to be there. So you got to know what your adjustments and your secondary route when the guy's outside of the pocket. And I think he's going to learn that this year, especially it's Desmond Ridder. I think Desmond Ridder is an okay quarterback there. I don't know if he's going to be the starting quarterback this year, but either way, I'm still okay with taking Drake London. Excuse me, guys. Let me get a little bit of a drink of water. Okay, and next, guys, is beating press coverage. Now, listen, Drake London can beat press coverage, but you're not just going to bully guys in the NFL. So you have to learn your art, right? It's an art to getting open. And you can tell as the season went on, because the guy's talented, so he could get open as a natural instinct, but he needed to learn and also get better for the NFL game. It's a different game there. Any professional game is different. College to pros is just different. So he's going to have more experience to get open on man routes, zone routes, or man on one side of the field, zone on the other side of the field. No safety over the top, safety over the top. He's going to get better at getting open and how far to go on a certain route because it's man coverage, right? So that's the things he's going to be working on. All right, guys, so let's move on to my last couple of things that I want to talk about Drake London before I move on to my next wide receiver. Guys, he is a volume wide receiver. So I know a lot of people in fantasy love guys that getting a bunch of targets. I like those guys in certain instances, but I'm more of a different type of guy, and I'll talk about that later in this video, in this live. But let me give you some weeks where this guy got like crazy targeted, and this is gonna make you feel good if you're a target guy. If you look for targets, this gonna edify you. Week number 2, guys, he had 12 targets and he had 26 points, 30 points, 40 points, 40 points. So he had 12 targets and he had 26 points in week 2. Still young, still wet behind the ears. He was still a baby. Week 13, he had 15 points, but he had 12 targets. So whenever this guy's getting targeted heavily, which you know they believe in him, so you're not going to be a okay wide receiver and they give you 15 targets. You got to be an alpha wide receiver to get that many targets. So he had 12 targets and he finished with 15 points. Now, again, like I told you, he had young quarterbacks and he also had quarterbacks that wasn't that good throwing him the ball. And last week I want to talk about is week 15. He had 14 points and he had 11 targets. So, guys, he's going to be heavily targeted in this offense. Him and Kyle Pitts are the main guys. So don't worry about targets when it comes to Drake London. And it's just reassurance for targets. That's what it makes you feel good. Like, okay, this guy going to get a bunch of targets. They're going to have opportunities to score a lot of fantasy points. All right, so we're done with Drake London. Let's move on to my next guy. Okay, so the next guy I want to talk about for a breakout season in 2023 is Christian Watson. Yes, guys, Christian Watson. Now, listen, this is my type of wide receiver that I like to target, right? But I like to switch it up, like different type of strategy, guys, when I'm drafting wide receivers. And guys, if you got any questions, I will get to them after I finish the breaking down these players. So just put whatever questions or comments you want to have. Just put it in the comment section. I will address them. So thank you for being patient, guys. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. So, Christian Watson, guys. No matter if Aaron Rodgers or Jordan Love is going to be his quarterback, it doesn't matter. Because both of those guys have a lot of arm strength. And this guy's a fast wide receiver. So long as they got arm strength, he's going to be okay. So I just want to put it, because I'm not like, well, I don't know, man. What if Aaron Rodgers leave and Jordan Love come? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Jordan Love has a big arm. Go back and watch his college highlights, or go watch him a few preseasons, or even last year when Aaron Rodgers didn't play or he came out the game early. Jordan Love got a big time arm. So that's why a lot of people believe that they're ready to move on from Aaron Rodgers and let Jordan Love take over. So, guys, this is life right here, what I'm about to say. What goes around comes around. So you remember how Aaron Rodgers took out Brett Favre and they pushed Brett Favre out the door. Same thing is probably going on with Aaron Rodgers. That's why Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers have got tight. They learned how Green Bay, they care about you, but hey, everybody time is coming, right? So maybe it's Jordan Love time, but either way, it doesn't matter. I still love Christian Watson. Guys, I was huge on Christian Watson last year. So that's why I'm kind of waiting about the draft, because I was on Christian Watson early, and it didn't really make a difference as far as how many views I got on my Christian Watson videos. So to me, I'm going to wait after the combine and everybody had all their numbers, and then I'm going to break down 10 guys at each position. So the NFL combine stuff is coming, guys. Don't think I'm just pushing that off to the side. But so next is chemistry. Guys, he's going to have a whole offseason to work with Jordan Love or Aaron Rodgers, that's fantastic. So last year, it was just kind of, oh, I'm a rookie. I'm coming in there, and we got to learn on the fly. No, this year, they're going to have a chemistry. They're going to have a spot for Christian Watson, what they want him to do, and they're going to be hitting on all cylinders early. And also, Aaron Rodgers is big on trust. Yes, trust. So the trust is going to be there this year because of the offseason. It took Devontae Adams 3 to 4 years before Aaron Rodgers started hyper-targeting him. It took Jordan, what was it, the guy? Jordan, I forgot his name, guys. He was there. Him and Devontae Adams was there. If you know who it was, put it in the chat. But it took them a while for them to get the trust. So if you get that trust with Aaron Rodgers, he will hyper-target you. All right, moving on. Guys, he's a young wide receiver. So last year, it took him a little bit of time to get going. But this is what he needs to work on in the offseason. He needs to work on his hands. He needs to work on his concentration. He is not a big-time route running. He's not a big-time hands guy, and I'm okay with that. Tyreek Hill wasn't a big-time hands guy. So I like speed receivers, guys. I like big play receivers, and then I also like to get volume receivers too with that. So I play in 3 wide receivers league. So give you an example. I might have Amon-Ra St. Brown, which is a guy that's getting 12, 13 targets most games. And then I might have a guy that's getting 5 or 6 targets, but he's a big play guy starting on my team. That's how I like to do mine. I don't like to get a bunch of all just PPR guys that's getting a bunch of targets and you have no big plays. That's how a Mike Evans can beat you in a championship, because Mike Evans is a big play guy. But so then you can go and get a Hunter Renfrow or somebody like that. Then they're more of a hyper target guy. So that's, even in PPR, I like to switch it up like that. So yes, he's going to work on his hands, and I think his hands is going to be good enough. He's never going to be an elite hands guy, but he will be able to catch the ball and be good enough to be a great wide receiver in the NFL. Next is his route running. He's not a great route runner, but he's strong, and he's going to work on that. Devontae Adams struggled with his routes early in his career, guys. See, sometimes, guys, we get biased and we act like Devontae Adams is God. Now, listen, Devontae Adams is a Hall of Famer, but he wasn't God coming out of college. He struggled for the first 2 to 3 years. So you got to understand this. So you can't, well, he sucked. No. You got to understand, you can't forget how people grow. You got to understand it takes time. So Christian Watson, you can't say, well, he ain't that good because he struggled in the middle of the season. Devontae Adams struggled. So, but route running, Christian Watson's going to work on it. Would he be a route runner like another wide receiver on here? Is he a better route runner than Drake London? No, he's not. Will he ever be? I don't think so. But either way, he's still going, because he's fast. So it's different ways to skin a cat. I always tell y'all, it's 9 ways to skin a cat. You don't got to be with everybody else. You ain't got to be Jerry Rice. You can be Calvin Johnson. You can be Randy Moss. You can be Antonio Brown. You can be Steve Smith. You can be Hines Ward. You can be all different type of wide receivers in order to get open. That's what makes football special. It's like chess. Each piece does something different. You ain't got to have a bunch of queens out there to win. You can have pawns out there. So moving on. Next is reading the defense. He needs to work on reading the defense. So you got to be able to, okay, what y'all doing? Okay, y'all in cover 2. This is what my route is. And I talked about that with Drake London. That's a lot of things. That's a lot of what young wide receivers got to learn. Like what to do, got to read the defense. It's not high school, it's not college. Because, guys, when I play high school and I play a little bit of college D3, they might, hey, you got a deep curl. No, bro, they in man-to-man. They sitting on the curl. I got to change up my route. Me and the quarterback got to be on the same page. That's the next level stuff in the NFL. That's why guys struggle in the NFL. They used to being told one route, and they want to run that. They don't know how to change the depth, to change up the route, anticipation, all of that. So, let's move on. He's a big play wide receiver. Now, Drake London is a volume wide receiver where he's getting a bunch of targets. Christian Watson might have games where he get 10 plus targets, but I'm not worried about that because this guy's getting carries too. He's a hybrid too now. Now I'm gonna do a different video for hybrids. So, but he's a hybrid. This guy he can get carries. He can line up at running back. You can put him in the Wildcat. I said what I said. You can put this guy in the Wildcat now. This guy just watch his film. He had one play where he took a carry for 60. I mean, he was so fast. This guy was one of the fastest guys in the NFL. So let me give you a couple of weeks where this guy boomed consistently off of low targets because he's a big play wide receiver. Remember, so if you could get Christian Watson and Drake London on the same team, that's perfect match. You got a high target guy and you got a big play guy. And those big play guys keep you from getting boomed on and losing in the fantasy week. You might have a good fantasy week and then somebody have one player go for 50 and you get beat. Christian Watson can defend that because he can go for 52. You don't got to get 20 targets to go for 50 points. It can be 2 or 3 big plays. So week 10, this guy had 36 points. This was his first breakout week. He had 8 targets. That's all. Now, he didn't catch all of those targets. He had like 6 catches, but he had 8 targets. Week 11, this is consistently right here. He had 21 points, but he only had 6 targets. Big play got 6 targets, 21 points. You don't see that a lot. Week 12, he had 25 points, another 6 targets. And week 13, he had 26 points with 7 targets. So he wasn't catching all those targets. It wasn't 100% completion on targets. He was catching 4 passes, 5 passes, 6 passes. That's what he was catching. So he wasn't catching on everything. So guys, you got to understand what it is. You can't go and look at numbers because if targets, you will skip Christian Watson, then you don't wonder why he broke out on you. Because you didn't know, you wasn't reading any targets. And again, guys, I'm going to tell everybody, I don't know everything. I don't claim to know everything. That's just the way, it's my fantasy football channel. So I'm going to give it to you the way I want to give it to you. Please don't be offended because of the way I come off. That's just the way I state it. Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir, bro. Conscious Machine, I see you, bro. Like I said, I'm going to get you everybody comments. Thank y'all for everybody for being here. Okay. So let's move on to my final and last wide receiver that's going to break out. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. Garrett Wilson from the New York Jets. Now listen, let me talk about his quarterback situation. It doesn't matter who his quarterback is going to be. So, because I know it could be 3 of these guys. It could be Aaron Rodgers. You know what that is. Garrett Wilson going to boom, right? It could be Derek Carr. Now, listen, I'm not a big Derek Carr fan when it comes to fantasy, but to be able to get his wide receivers, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I take that wide receiver on his team. Now, is Derek Carr going to have 40 points a game or something? No, I'm not saying that. But he can make sure, but Derek Carr is good enough to hyper-target a wide receiver where I can draft him in fantasy football. So, and last but not least is Lamar Jackson. If Lamar Jackson gets traded there, I'm still great. I'm still okay with getting Garrett Wilson. Only way I'm going to struggle with Garrett Wilson if Zach Wilson is the starting quarterback. And we know Zach Wilson is over unless somebody get hurt or something. Not over. His career is over because that's for another video for Zach Wilson, but it's over for him being a starting quarterback with the New York Jets. And I blame the Jets a little bit, but again, I don't want to get on that. We're talking about breakout wide receivers. So Garrett Wilson, any of those 3 quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr, or Lamar, he'll be fine. All right, moving on. Guys, as a young wide receiver, I got to give it to you. I wasn't a big Garrett Wilson fan. I would take him if he fell to me in a draft. But this guy runs impeccable routes. Man, I'm a speed guy or a big body guy that can run routes. He got good size. He's not nobody that's 6'4" or running a 4.2, but he's fast. He runs like a 4.4, and he's like maybe like 6'1", 6'2". But his routes is impeccable. He's a better route runner than Drake London and Christian Watson. So I'm impeccable. So this guy's only gonna get better. He got some Justin Jefferson qualities as far as he don't got to be fast. He's just a great football player. So sometimes that's why I tell y'all, this combine can be overrated. And that's another video too. I'm gonna talk about that. The combine can be very overrated. You got to go look for a specific thing. It's not everything. That's why guys get overdrafted. Oh my God, he's benching 225, 40 times, and he jumps out the gym, and you out there running around and don't know what to do, getting lapped. And then you got guys out there to get drafted in the 5th round and get 15 sacks. or bust out as a wide receiver like Amon-Ra St. Brown. Why? Because you got to be able to play football here first. That's why Bill Belichick has Julian Edelman and Wes Welker. He ain't really worried about drafting no Calvin Johnson because he knows those are far between. If I get a Calvin Johnson, that's okay. But everybody, because you can run fast, don't mean you're a great football player. I want football players. You can win championships and Super Bowls with great football players mentally. So another, and like I said, he's just Justin Jefferson. Like Justin Jefferson was the second round pick. Why? Because he wasn't running no 4.3 40. He wasn't jumping out the gym. He wasn't doing on TV showing y'all a bunch of strength and bunch of speed. But he's just a great football player. So that's what Garrett Wilson is. And they knew that. That's why they took Garrett Wilson as a top 10 pick now. So I got to give the NFL credit for that. They know that. But Garrett Wilson, guys, impeccable route runner, Justin Jefferson like. And next thing is he separates on his routes. I mean, that guy, bam, bam, he open. That's what he does. Now, Christian Watson and Drake London ain't quite those type of guys. They win in different ways. Remember, I told you, there's 9 ways to skin a cat. So, but Garrett Wilson, guys, his separation on routes, it was top up there. I'm talking about even everybody. Now, it wasn't like Jamar Chase and Tyreek, but it was up there with these top wide receivers that's veterans. So that's what Garrett Wilson is. And also, guys, he can handle volume. He's a volume guy. That's my next reason. He's a volume guy. Now, Christian Watson is not a volume guy, but Drake London is. Garrett Wilson, he can get 15, 20 targets. He can handle that as a rookie. That's phenomenal. Again, I wasn't high on Garrett Wilson because I knew he's a good player, but I like big play guys. If I'm going to tell you it's going to be a sleeper, big play, I know what Garrett Wilson was. But did I think he could handle 20 targets on the New York Jets with no other weapons out there like that? No, I did not know that. So this guy can handle that. So let me give you 3 weeks where this guy had phenomenal targets and numbers. So week number 2, this guy had 14 targets and he had 30 points in fantasy. And this is PPR, regular PPR league. Week 13. Now listen, the other weeks he did good, but you know Zach Wilson came out there and it messed his numbers up sometimes. So that's why I skipped around and go to certain weeks. But he's still going to be over 10 targets a game, no matter who's the quarterback is. Like I said, Derek Carr, Aaron Rodgers, or Lamar, it doesn't matter. So week 13, he had 24 points, 26 points, 30 points. He had 15 targets that week on week 13. And guys, week 18, which wasn't fantasy anymore, but or some people play fantasy championship doing that. But week 18, he had 17 points and 17 targets. So it was basically a target per point. This guy is, I'm telling you, he's going to be special. Breakout. Now, the reason why I call him breakout, because these guys are in first round or maybe even second round picks. Maybe they move up later. Let me get a drink of water, guys. Maybe they move up later, right? Maybe these guys go up into a second round or end of the first round. But right now, you can get these guys. You can stack these guys on your team. So that's why I want to do breakout wide receivers, just 3 guys. So again, Drake London, Christian Watson, and Garrett Wilson are my 3 breakout wide receivers. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. Okay. So let me go through the comments here. We got Stacy. What's going on, Stacy? Always showing support to the channel. Appreciate you, Stacy. Yes. Hey, sign up for the OnlyFans. Guys, I helped her win a championship this year. She came in second this year. Now, when she signed up for the OnlyFans, she was telling me, she said, TD, I won. I beat these guys. They always coming after me because I'm a girl and I can play. I said, okay. She said, but this year, man, it doesn't look like I'm going to make it to the playoffs. It's tough. And I said, don't know. I said, let me see your team. So she signed up for the OnlyFans and she showed me her team and she can go and tell you this herself. I said, don't worry about it. You going to the championship. I didn't say she was going to win it, but I said, hey, you going to the championship. You got a team. You definitely going to the playoffs. She's like, I thank you for being positive. I said, no, you can do it. And she had some really good players. Now, if she'd have been with me all season, she would have probably had more better players, but she had a couple players that I was on. A lot of people weren't on, so I knew she knew what she was talking about. So I was like, no, just trust it. Because that's another video about that process. Because sometimes, guys, because the person have 2 bad weeks don't mean that you need to drop them. they're going to be special. So she ended up picking up Justin Fields. She had Amon-Ra and a couple other guys that was really good. And she ended up making the playoffs, ran the playoffs and played it, and ended up going into a super team. The guy had a stacked team, and she lost in the championship game. But anyway, guys, if you want to need help, sign up for the OnlyFans, guys. It's nothing weird going on over there. I want to be a pioneer. Everybody's doing Patreon. So come over there to OnlyFans, and that way, guys, it's very personal over there, and I do consultations. I can be on the phone with you for your draft, and I sit on there for a fee, and I give you half off on that. Now, if you want a consultation and you're not on OnlyFans, it's going to be a pretty buck, It's going to be $80. But if you on the OnlyFans, it's only $40, and I stay on the phone with you the whole draft, no matter how long it takes. Now, if it's a long draft and it's going to take multiple days, you can just call me at certain times, and I got you. So thank you, Stacy. Appreciate you signing up. What's going on, Justin Vetter? He says Jordy Nelson. Thank you. That's who it was. Jordy Nelson and Devontae Adams. And Jordy Nelson was the hyper target guy. And it took Jordy Nelson a couple of seasons before Aaron Rodgers trusted him. So you just don't come in because if you're good, you're going to boom right away. It don't always work that way. Yes, sir. Appreciate that, Justin. Hey, go sign up for subscribe on YouTube if you can, Justin. I appreciate you being on the Facebook too. My homie, the one and only Conscious Machine. He said, I'm here, TD. Let's hear the cutting edge content. Yes, sir. Yep, this is cutting edge content, guys. Now, I'm not saying it's the best content in the whole world or I'm the smartest man and I'm never wrong. That's not where I stand on. I stand on where I'm not going to give you ain't no cookie cutters over here. Now, listen, if I need to give you a cookie cutter because of cookie cutter being good, of course, I'm not going to sit around and just say stuff crazy just to say something crazy. Or say something just to say something different, right? I'm not that type of person. But I'm not going to go on here and talk about a lot of Christian McCaffrey. I'm not going to come over here and talk a lot about Pat Mahomes. Now, we'll have videos for him for strategy, but I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to tell y'all guys that you can draft in your mid-rounds or sometimes third round that can push your team ahead. That's how I feel like what really helps people out. So, yeah, thank you, Conscious Machine. And Justin says Jefferson was drafted in the first round. Was he? Was that the pick they got for Diggs? No, Jefferson wasn't drafted in the first round. I'm pretty sure. I think he was a second round pick, bro. I could be wrong, but because you're kind of making me doubt myself a little bit. Because like I said, I don't know everything, but I'm pretty sure that's in my bank. I think he was a second round pick, man. I don't think he was a first round pick. That was Jamar Chase. Let me see. Next, Conscious Machine says, I'm a Packer fan, and I do think Watson can be elite. Not with Jordan Love, though. I think he can be elite with Jordan Love. You just got to give it time, man. You got to give it time. What did you think Devontae Adams was going to be elite with Aaron Rodgers? No, nobody knew that. It was Brett Favre, and you know what I'm saying, and Greg Jennings. Nobody knew about thinking that Aaron Rodgers was going to take over and be the next great quarterback, and he was going to take Jordy Nelson and Devontae Adams and Donald Driver and take them to a Super Bowl. Nobody knew that. So you got to give him a little bit of time. What's going on, Chris? What's up, bro? He said, Stacey Lewis, hit me up. I want you in my leagues. Yeah, she nice now. She nice. Yes, that's God. That's Chris. He's played. Chris played at Oklahoma State. He played with Rob Ryan. Rob Ryan was his defensive coordinator. This guy knows fantasy football. He in some of my listener leagues. And he's been following me for a while, showing support to my channel. He's also brought in guys to follow my channel, introducing my channel to other guys, and also to my listener leagues. So, guys, this is one of my homies. I appreciate you, bro. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And, guys, anybody want to come up, I put the link in there. If you want to come up on the StreamYard and you want to chop it up for a few seconds or a minute or two, you're welcome to it. Conscious Machine says, I'm in a keeper league where we keep one player. Is Devontae Adams my guy in PPR again, or is it Ramondre Stevenson going to blast? I think you go and keep Devontae Adams. Ramondre is nice, but I don't know if, man, it's hard for me to think if he's going to really be a difference. I mean, I think he can be a top 5, top 12 running back, possibly, but he could be splitting carries. I don't know. I say go with the volume, crazy, hyper-targeted wide receiver, one of the best wide receivers that we've seen play in the NFL, top 20 guy in the NFL of all time, easily, arguably top 10. I say go with Devontae Adams. He's gonna get 10 plus targets most games. Like, right, 70% of his games he's gonna get 10 plus targets. So I'm gonna tell you to go with Devontae Adams in a PPR league. Yes, sir. Great question, though, Conscious Machine. Great question. And CHB, what's up, bro? That's another guy, guys. Listen, he lost in, I think, the semifinals, but he only lost one game the whole season. And he had a lot. He had like 5 or 6 of my guys that I had preached the whole season. So that's another one of my homies. He's been following me for a while. Appreciate you, bro. But he says, I'm here for the cutting edge content. Let's go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And CHB says, Jordan Love will be elite. I don't know if he'll be elite, but I know he'll be good enough to win games in Green Bay. Sometimes you don't got to be elite like that, right? You just got to be good enough. So, yes, could he be elite? He could be. I'm not going to doubt nobody. I know better than that. This is life, and this is football. You can't doubt nobody, right? But we all got our opinions, and I respectfully, I like to hear y'all opinions respectfully, because I know I don't know everything. I learn a lot from y'all, right? I'm pretty sure y'all learn a lot from me too. So, guys, let me get out of here. Guys, again, make sure you go sign up for the OnlyFans. The link is in the description box. Also, guys, go sign up for all my platforms. I'm on TikTok. It's in the description. Also, I put it in the chat. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I got a personal profile on Facebook and Instagram, and I got my business profile on both of those 2 platforms. But, guys, I'm on every single social media platform. I will be going over to Rumble, too, eventually, and I will be doing Twitch. So I'm going to be everywhere eventually, guys. And I'm also going to be changing up some stuff. The background is going to be changing up. I'm going to get a better camera. I'm going to be getting a better computer and a better mic. So, guys, be patient with me. I've been doing this thing for 3 years. This will be going into probably my 4th year. So thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Peace. Okay, hold up. Wait a minute. I got another comment. Hold up. I want to address my homeboy. He says, just saying I had a 3rd place finish with great advice from TD every week. Thank you, bro. Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that, bro. Guys, if you can, share my content. And guys, I will come in when you come in the chat. The ones that, if you respect me, and I'm pretty sure all of you do, go tell me how you did in the fantasy. You know, I know a lot of people. Sometimes people are looking for me to be wrong, like you're trying to challenge me in your own head, and I get it because we're supposed to be competitive. I love to compete, but also, guys, how you going to help me grow? If you want me to grow, you got to let people know how good my content is, because people are not going to go through my catalog and look at Amon-Ra St. Brown, Christian Watson, Jalen Hurts. Guys, I was one of the only few guys that was on Jalen Hurts. I said he was going to be a top 5 quarterback. I said that. I was on Amon-Ra St. Brown. I said he was going to boom out. Christian Watson, I said he was one of the best wide receivers in this draft. I said about Jared Goff was going to be a good quarterback. I said Daniel Jones was going to break out. Daniel Jones, guys, I'm got to be the only guy, unless you're a Giants fan, that championed Daniel Jones. And I waited in my draft and got a lot of Daniel Jones and Jared Goff. Yeah, I was on Davis Mills. I missed on some guys too, like Kyle Pitts, Davis Mills. But in Dynasty, especially Kyle Pitts, those guys are going to be pretty good. But I will digress. I was wrong. I'm not right on everything. But 75% I stand on. I've been saying that ever since I started my channel. After 6 months, I'm 75% right on everything that I say. These guys know the numbers. If a guy finished from top 3 to top 6, no, I could be off on that. I'm not really into the numbers. I'm into like guys that's going to be winning you fantasy weeks and winning you fantasy championships. I'm Najee. I know I struggled a lot. I felt bad about Najee this year because I told a few people to get Najee, and he struggled early. And a lot of people dropped him. I said, listen, guys, if you got to drop him, you got to drop him. But you know that guy ended up finishing as a top 12 guy. And I actually think he's going to be a top 5 guy. He has the potential to be a top 5 guy this year. Let me see. I got a few more comments. Travis Looney, what's up, bro? Guys, he's been here for a while, always showing support to the channel. I appreciate you here, Travis. How did you do this year, Travis? How was your how'd you do in your leagues this year? And CHB said, I'll be on the next video to chop it up. That's you all good, bro. It's you all good. You always coming to chop it up. I appreciate that. And Conscious Machine says, and I had 198 during championship week, but playing the third place game. Tough to see the best score, but not in the big game. Yes, it'd be like that sometimes. Sometimes your players don't. That's why, guys, I don't think you have to win a fantasy football championship to have a great season, because you can go undefeated and then get to the semifinals, and then you'll got something happen, somebody get hurt, or anything can happen, COVID, anything, and then you will lose that week. You can't be down on yourself. Yes, we want championships. Like me, I had 12 leagues this year. I went to the playoffs in 7 or 8 of them. Went to at least the semifinals, and probably like 6 of them. And I didn't win a championship. I came in second in 3 leagues. I'm proud of myself. I killed it. Now, people, I say, man, well, you didn't win no. Hey, you can say what you want to say. I know fantasy football. That's why I can pick the players that I do. Because, hey, you can't help that sometimes. Sometimes guys just don't do what they need to do for you in certain weeks. And that's okay. You just want to be able to play positive ball. You just want to be putting the best team out there. Now, if you're missing the playoffs, I feel like you should be able to make the playoffs every year. That's my opinion. But as far as what happens in the playoffs, it's out of your control. You just got to make the right starts. You don't want to have guys on your bench. Because I talked about Mike Evans all year. Y'all got these guys can tell you, don't bench Mike Evans. Don't bench Mike Evans, because he wasn't going to kill you. Even though he might give you 5-6 points, who cares? Because you did not want to miss that 40-50-point game. And you know when he did it? In a championship game. How many people play him? Not a lot. I played him in a couple of my leagues. So anyway, I just wanted to let people know about that. But yeah, it'd be like that sometimes, bro. And Travis Loomis says, I made it to 1 championship out of 7 leagues. Okay. Yep. So, and again, that's how it be like that sometimes. Hopefully you made the playoffs too in a couple other leagues, bro. And Conscious Machine says, gonna win it all this year. I can feel it. 0 RB for sure. Yes. And I'm going to be making a video about 0 RB when it's time to do 0 RB, or when it's time to maybe pivot a little bit and do something different. All right, guys. So make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. Peace.